How's it going, guys? It's Marcus. This video is basically going to be a discussion video about a new cartoon that I checked out maybe a few weeks ago, and I'm basically caught up with all the episodes. It's called The Loud House. Now, this is sort of like a follow-up video, I guess, to my Spongebob rant, the old Spongebob versus new Spongebob, and kind of like the future of Nickelodeon, how, like, modern cartoons have kind of been going to shit, you know, with examples of, like, the new Fairly Odd Parents, where Timmy, like, shares his fucking fairies now, the new Powerpuff Girls, you know, shows like that. You know, shows like that that just don't give me a lot of hope for cartoons in general. But you do get the few cases, you know, like the Steven Universes and the Adventure Times and the regular shows, but even though those are Cartoon Network shows, you know what I mean? So it didn't really give me a lot of hope for Nickelodeon, but there's this new show, actually, called The Loud House. Basically about a boy named Lincoln Loud, who has 10 sisters, and he's the only boy, but he's the middle child, so he's got 5 younger sisters and 5 older sisters. And I like that a lot. I like that a lot, because it's a really good balance with the characters, because you can see how Lincoln interacts with his younger sisters and how he can be, like, kind of a role model of them and, like, help them out, and you can see how he interacts with his older sisters to where he gets, like, bossed around and stuff, and how he has to, like, sometimes do what they say, but sometimes he has to help them out as well, but sometimes he's, like, kind of their punching bag, you know, for, like, his sister Lynn. She's, like, the sports type sister, you know. Each character has, like, their own, or each sister has, like, their own, like, unique personality. Like, Lori's, like, the typical teenage girl who's, like, always on her phone talking to her boyfriend and shit. The second oldest, Lenny, she's, like, the dumb blonde. Then Luna, who's, like, the rock star girl, you know, and then Luann, who's, like, the class clown, I guess, or, like, the family jokester who's always trying to, like, pull pranks on people and stuff like that. And then Lynn, who's, like I said, the sports type. Then you got Lincoln. He's just, like, the normal boy who's trying to keep track of everybody. And, like, basically every episode is just, like, he's explaining to the audience, like, he's narrating to the audience, like, oh, this is how you gotta do shit in the Loud House with 10 sisters. It's blah, 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 you know, confusing. And then it just goes into the episode, you know. It's just, I really like how every character has their own unique personality. Like, I'll talk about the little sisters now. There's, like, 2 twins named Lana and Lola. I'm sorry, I get the names, like, mixed up. I should have a fucking list here. Sorry if this is, like, kind of all over the place. I don't know, I felt like if I made this video scripted, it would just be kind of bland, you know. I feel like it wouldn't be from the heart as much, but the 2 twins, and they're kind of like a contrast of each other. Like, Lola, she's kind of like the bratty pageant queen, and then Lana's like the tomboy, you know. And then we got Lisa, who's like the super, even though she's like 4 years old, she's like the super genius of the family. She's kind of like how Dexter is in Dexter's Lab. He's like the youngest of his family, even though his only sister is Dee Dee, but he's the youngest, and he's like a super genius. She's always like making shit in her lab and stuff like that. And then Lucy, who is like an emo girl, she's like 10 years old, she's right below Lincoln in the family tree, and she's always like trying to write poetry and like be deep and like depressed and all that, and she's like, oh, sigh, my poetry, it speaks to me, like shit like that. And then we got the little baby Lily, who's just kind of there. She's literally just kind of there. She just kind of like walks around and sometimes gets into mischief, but I like that. I like that a lot, because if this show was like, oh, Lincoln is the oldest of 10 little sisters, and in every single episode, he was just like trying to get them out of trouble and was like babysitting for them or some shit, like in every episode or something like that, it just wouldn't be as good. You know, or if it was just 10 older sisters where he's just getting pushed around the entire time, you know, it's the perfect balance. It's so smart to do that and make him the middle kid, you know what I mean? You know, it's really, really nice. It's really, really nice. Only thing, though, I think my one little tiny gripe that I have with this show is that the parents, you can't see their faces. You know, it's like some Charlie Brown shit. I don't know. I don't really... That always bothered me, you know? I don't like when you have these characters who are basically in every single episode, but you can't see their face. You know, that always annoyed me. You know, especially if, like, a series ends and you never get to see those people or person's face. Oh, that always annoyed me so much. Like, I'm glad that in Fairly Odd Parents, they kind of transitioned to where you can actually see Timmy's parents' face. Because in old Fairly Odd Parents days, it was like some cow and chicken shit where you couldn't see Timmy's mom or Timmy's dad. You know, you only saw their legs. You know, stuff like that. Or like in NNID, where you never saw Double D's hair. They would tease it, but you never saw what was under his hat. You never saw his real hair. Not even in the movie. Oh, it just gets under my skin, man. It just gets under my skin. I'm sorry. But yeah, this show though, man. This show, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. You know, and Lincoln has that one friend who like is crushing on his oldest sister, and every time he gets near, he nosebleeds. Like they always have that joke. They always have those jokes in like anime. I never see that in cartoons where a kid will nosebleed for having a crush on a girl. I see that in like anime and stuff, but I never see that in like modern cartoons ever, like American cartoons ever. I never see that. You know, it's so funny that they have that. It's just amazing. Like, oh my god, I love it so much. I love it so much. Like, it's shows like this that actually are starting to give me more hope for not Cartoon Network. I'm so fucking stupid. Damn it. It's shows like these that give me more hope for Nickelodeon, because until this show came out, I didn't think like Nickelodeon would have like any good cartoons, and this came out like a month ago or so, and apparently there's this show called Bad Seeds that is also pretty decent. People have been saying that's actually pretty good as well. Bad Seeds, Harvey Beaks, that show. I think it's called Harvey Beaks. Is it called Harvey Beaks or Bad Seeds? It's called Bad Seeds for the pilot, but it's also known as Harvey Beaks. Okay, and it premiered March 29th. Apparently, people are saying this show is good too because it was created by the same guy who created Chowder, C.H. Greenblatt, and that show was really fucking good. So, I have yet to check this out, though. Apparently, it's really good. I mean, if it's created by C.H. Greenblatt who made Chowder, you know, I'm assuming it should be pretty decent, honestly, you know. Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen this show and you think it's worth the watch, because I saw one comment on the Spongebob video, the Spongebob rant, that said this show, along with The Loud House, were very, very good shows. But this show is just mainly about this video is just mainly about The Loud House, because that show I actually watched and have actually caught up with it, and I like it a lot. I really, really like it a lot. Like, you can tell there's a fucking dedicated fan base to this fucking show too, man. Like, you know how people get when there's like a really dedicated fan base and there's females in the show and they start making like hentai and lewd shit with it. Yeah, people are doing that with the sisters, the older sisters. Hell, even some of the younger sisters. It's not okay. I mean, you do you, but holy fuck. Oh my god. Ah, I love this show. I love this show so much. Sorry if this, like I said, sorry if this video is kind of all over the place. It's just, I can't get over how good the show is, you know, how Nick is starting to actually come back. You know, it feels like they're kind of returning to old Nick. You know, it really, really feels good. Like, just every episode of the show is just appealing to me. Like, even if the sisters, like, fuck over Lincoln and stuff like that, you know, they actually show their love for Lincoln and, you know, actually try to help him out of certain situations and stuff. It's not like SpongeBob, where Squidward will get fucked over, and then SpongeBob and Patrick will try to help out, and they'll just keep making it worse and worse and worse, and they won't feel like any empathy towards Squidward whatsoever in a lot of situations. That just annoys me, you know? It's nice that these characters actually have a conscience, and there's so many characters too. There's like 11 people in this fucking Loud House, but every single one has like good character development, you know what I mean? It's good character development and good personality. It's just amazing to see that, because there's 11 of them. There's 11 characters. There's 11. You can see shows nowadays where there's like 3 main characters, but they have like no type of depth to them or appeal to them whatsoever. But there's 11 fucking characters in this show. I mean, I guess 10, because I mean, if you don't want to count the baby who's like 1 year old, I guess you could just say 10. You know, the other characters who can actually talk, but yeah. But yeah, this is basically just my discussion video on The Loud House and how I really like this show, and, you know, this could be the start of something great. You know, this could be the start of Nick finally getting out of their rut and going back to their old ways with really good cartoons and not shitty humor and like bad animation and stuff like that, or just only Dan Schneider shows. Like fucking Henry Danger and all that crap. I mean, old Dan Schneider was great. You know, Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, A+. Nowadays, so bad. So bad. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys don't mind me not having this scripted. Apologies, I just felt like this would be a little bit more genuine if it wasn't scripted, so it wouldn't sound like I was like talking like a fucking robot or whatnot. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, bye bye.